What's up, guys? Welcome back to El Merengue Culé. As you can see, we have probably already uploaded the live reactions to the video. It is currently halftime in the actual game, so we don't know what the final score is. So that's why we're both relatively happy, unless, you know, that may very much change as this video actually continues, because we obviously will be doing the analysis at the end of the full game. Okay, to start off with the analysis, let's talk about the lineups.
So it was very interesting. You actually did see Ronald Koeman put Sergio Dest in the right back position, which is pretty bold. I like it though. Good move. Also, you see Pedri occupying that right wing.
Yes.
He wasn't any of my options. Definitely a statement of its own.
As a Madrid fan, I've seen a lot. I've seen probably 80% of Barca's games this season. And when I saw Pedri starting, I was very shocked at the fact that, in my opinion, Trincao had probably been playing a little bit better. I feel like every time he attacks, it's a little better. Now, careful. Maybe that's a tactic from Koeman to bring him into the second half and on a more tired Mendy, a more tired defense, because Trincao tends to have more 1v1 playing style that Pedri doesn't really have. In my personal opinion, after seeing the first half, I haven't really seen much from Pedri. We talked about it kind of in the live reaction here and there, how Pedri's a little bit quiet. He's probably helping out a little more in defense, trying to help out Sergio Dest, who Sergio Dest is doing a phenomenal job in my opinion. He's had a great couple tackles on Casemiro, done a great job defending Vinicius Jr. too. Kept him relatively quiet. Vinny has had his moments here and there. Overall hasn't been too...
You don't get the sensation that he's a new player, a 19-year-old player. He looks like a well-established Barcelona player, which is nice to see.
Which is also crazy because the whole right wing on Barcelona is made up of, Sergio Dest, 19 years old, Pedri, 17 years old. He's really 17?
He's like a month younger or older than Ansu.
Well, that's crazy. But I guess to continue now, with Madrid's side of things, we had Nacho starting on the right-hand side. And guys, for those of you that watched my pre-game analysis video, I said that I personally didn't want Nacho starting because of the liability that it could come with having Ansu Fati there. And my solution was to have Militao on the right back spot. However, Ansu Fati is actually playing more central.
100%. Playing that number 9.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he's been very active. I mean, for the most part, staying in that position. Here and there, he does wave off, collects the ball, allows the play to develop around him.
Yeah, pretty active overall. I have seen an active Ansu Fati. However, it's left that left wing a bit lost. There's not really anyone taking that position. Coutinho has been kind of missing in the game a little bit. A little more of the old Coutinho that we see last year.
I think he doesn't know his position because obviously Messi is kind of free roaming everywhere, which occupies that attacking mid for the most part, because that's where the ball really originates from, and Messi has to have the ball at his feet, which leaves Coutinho like, do I drift out wide? Do I occupy the left wing, or do I stick to that attacking mid? It leaves him kind of in this middle zone that isn't really too productive for us.
Yeah, and there's also been times where Coutinho, like, Barca gets counterattack, and Coutinho isn't giving it his 100% to make that overlapping run and get that ball. So, Coutinho, in my opinion, not having the best of games. I think potential subs that Koeman could do is obviously take out Pedri, bring in Trincao, and take out Coutinho and bring in Griezmann. So, and Griezmann could play centrally too. I don't know, could be interesting. For the game, in the big picture scheme, it started very high intensity. Obviously, we got 2 goals off the get-go.
Wow.
Karim Benzema connecting very well with Fede Valverde that pushed, had the extra burners to get past a Piqué that was trying to... He got caught in either pressing Karim Benzema or tracking with the run that Fede Valverde made that really put him in a bad situation. And Piqué didn't really deal with that situation very well.
Busquets also kind of stopped his run, but that is the young side. So I think the young should have been the one to follow Valverde.
Perhaps, yeah. Overall, it was just a little breakdown from Barca right there. In that 5th minute, the whole midfield defense communication kind of broke down, which led to Real Madrid's goal.
But still, merit to Valverde's run.
Yes, great run. And I think the biggest thing I thought right afterwards is how is each team, not just Barca's good response, but each team. And I think it went perfect for Barca because they didn't let themselves down. And right away, and on the other hand, Madrid didn't start off after that goal fully focused, as intense as they were. And I think that led to them not realizing Jordi Alba's overlapping run, which led to Barca's goal.
I think we actually disagree on this action a little bit. I think rather than it being Madrid out of focus, I think it's just merit to Jordi Alba. I mean, how do you stop a run like that with a Messi that maybe you could close down Messi and prevent him from picking that pass out by being a little tighter? But I don't think it's so much a lack of concentration from Madrid. It was just merit to Barcelona.
But what I'm saying is, if you're more focused with the overlapping runs with your mark, and that was Nacho's fault, which once again highlights, Carvajal probably could have done a better job right there. But once again, Nacho's lack of concentration right there. He could have seen Jordi Alba making that run from way earlier before the play even developed, and started backing off a little bit more. Also, it was, I think, Varane that kept Jordi Alba barely on side. So overall, a lack of concentration. A lot of times they have that back line, more focused, which, in my opinion, that's why I think Madrid just lacked the concentration.
I want to talk about that thing that you said, and it's been happening on both teams. You see this lack of communication, or rather this good exploitation from the attacking team, where one defender steps and the others aren't in line with that, which creates a lot of openings in behind, and both teams have been taking advantage of that, at least in the first 20 minutes. Yeah. Then afterwards, I think both teams decided to calm down, let the game not be so back and forth. I don't know who that benefits the most. Both teams have good substitutions, which is nice for a change, especially for Barcelona. That's something we did not see a lot of last season. Yeah. It was just that starting 11, and that's it.
Yeah. So I think it'll be interesting to see for the second half how both teams, if they go back to high intensity level game, or if they continue with this slow intensity and then at the end finish it off with a big punch. So it'll be interesting to see. I think it'll greatly depend on the subs that are made. So that'll be nice to see. Right before we finish off this first half, Lucas Vazquez was brought on for Nacho with like 3 minutes left. It looked like a Nacho injury. So it'll be interesting to see how Real Madrid deals with that, because it probably gives them a little bit more offense and pace, but also a little bit less defending. Okay, guys, that is our first half analysis. Make sure you tune in for the second half analysis that for you will be in a couple seconds. We'll see you at the end of the game. Well, the game has concluded. El Clasico, the first El Clasico here, El Merengue Culé, is finally over, and we have a Real Madrid victory 3-1. I think one big talking point, which was probably the turning point in El Clasico, is that penalty. What do you think?
There was definitely a shirt pull, so I can't argue in that sense that it's not a foul, because the shirt was pulled. But what frustrates me is that the shirt pull was being this way, and Ramos jumps that way.
Yes.
And it's just like, oh, that's frustrating. Again, like I had mentioned, it was against the run of play, which is very frustrating. Neto almost gets to it, and just he's like, everything is
almost moments
against you. And
I agree.
Especially after that Coutinho header miss, after that Messi, or rather Courtois save against Messi, which was impeccable. El que perdona pierde, and frustrating to see in El Clásico being defined by a penalty.
Ramos exaggerated by like jumping and making it dramatic. However, the foul was there. That's I think like the bottom line of it.
Barca would have done the same thing.
I think anyone does that for sure.
The third goal, it didn't make me mad. I was glad Barca pushed for the goal.
Yeah,
I'd rather it be that 3-1, even though it looks worse. I'd rather us push for the goal than just take the 2-1. Kind of sit with the tail between our legs.
Yeah.
We went for it. It didn't go our way.
Koeman really went all out. He even brought in Braithwaite at the end. Barca had 4 strikers at one point.
What frustrates me the most is the subs came in and it took firepower away. And the subs are supposed to bring on hope. I think maybe potentially Koeman made the mistake of bringing them all on at the same time and rather than staggering. I think they came a little bit late.
And it's kind of like, and I was mentioning to you, that's kind of what happens in preseason friendlies. Whenever you switch up like the whole team, that second half is normally a little bit slower because it takes that second team, because of all the changes, a little longer to adapt to the game, which is kind of what happened, kind of what I warned could happen. And that's exactly what we saw. And they were really only finding Dembele. Dembele was just trying to run down the wing, really not cutting in, not doing much. Griezmann, I don't think I saw him touch the ball once. Griezmann, I don't know what's happening with him. He has lost confidence yet again, even after it was looking like he was growing a little bit, but confidence kind of gone. I do want to highlight and ask you, I guess, kind of what you think on Messi. What did you think of his game?
He wasn't the most protagonistic. Obviously, he got the pass to Jordi Alba for the first goal.
That was a good one.
He was involved with the build-up of the play time and time again. He was pretty much playing the attacking mid. It was a little uncertain exactly where he played. Basically, the attacking mid with free roam, especially after the subs came on. I mean, he just didn't do anything, which is when you want him to be the most active. But I just think Barca was too out of rhythm with those subs. I think he didn't get a goal. He didn't get his name into the newspapers in any sense. I didn't think he had a bad game, though.
I agree with almost everything you said except the last part, which I don't think he had a bad game. Because I actually... Yes, he didn't mess up, so to sense. But when you're Messi, I feel like it's expected for you to try to show up, to have a little more attitude. And I feel like it's kind of a recurrent thing with him that the moment things start going down for Barca, when Barca went down 2-1, that's where you ideally want Messi to say, guys, like, come on, let's wake up. I'm the captain of the team. I need to wake you guys up, and I need to start making things happen, like being a little more active. And I think, if anything, when Barca went down, that's when we saw the worst Messi. That's whenever Messi just kind of disappeared.
Because we saw the worst Messi at the end. Right when Madrid scored, you felt it. You're like, oh my god, this pressure from Barca is coming. And it originates from Messi.
He was the one driving the ball. Messi. I saw the Yon. I saw, if anything, I started seeing a little more Pedri, Dembele. Like, towards the end, I genuinely, and I'm not just saying this because of Messi, I genuinely think I didn't see Messi touch the ball like once or twice towards the end. The first half, he was a little scarier, but anyways, that's just a little tangent on him. I think Barca, the biggest thing that you guys can take out of this game is Serginho Dest, his game. I think it was really, really good. I think he really kept Vinicius on lockdown for the most part of the game. Vinicius didn't get to do much. Fati tapped it in, yeah. And so, anyways, I think Dest had a good game. Aside from that, in Madrid's sense, I don't think there was a standout player for this match. Rather, it was more of a collective effort. They played good defensively. They attacked well as a team. And overall, it came from little sparks. Valverde making that run. Obviously, the penalty, there's not much you can say. It was just a penalty there. And then at the end, Modric's goal, just Barca was pushing. So Madrid just took advantage of certain moments where Barca kind of fell apart, rather than Madrid having a glorious moment where it was in their merit. Valverde, he did have a merit, but it was more Barca falling
Their merit
apart.
comes from their defending and their mentality, not of a specific player.
I agree. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this analysis for El Clasico, the first ever El Clasico here at El Merengue Culé. If you haven't watched our live reaction video, I highly suggest that you go do that. We also posted our pregame analysis videos and one video in which we go and try to make the best combined 11 between Barcelona and Real Madrid while making some challenges out on the pitch. So guys, there's a lot to watch if you are new to the channel. Like I said, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit the like button down below. Subscribe, and while you're at it, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you next video. Peace out.